Everybody shut up and action. Is Orb on the Movements of Earth a good anime? Kinda. Okay, so this is a really unique show that I have watched recently, okay? So this is like not the typical show you will watch where you're following a protagonist through this journey, or just a protagonist in general and their story or something or the other surrounding a protagonist, because this anime doesn't exactly have a protagonist. It's more so you're following a concept. So yeah, I think everyone, I don't think everyone knows the key term for it, but like, you know, the concept of how the sun is the center of our solar system and Earth revolves around it and all the other planets revolve around it. That is called the heliocentric theory. And before that, in the past, there was the geocentric theory or something. I forget what it's called already, but like, it's the theory where Earth is the center of the universe and all other planets and celestial entities revolve around it. So this is the show about that theory, using that theory as a example for I'm not going to get into that too much, but like, they're using this theory as a centric point of the show, as how it's a theory that's kind of being barred for study because it is it is what God has willed, and study on this is blasphemous because you're trying to rule out that this is not what God has willed or something like that. And it goes straight into like the divine teachings of the church and how, oh my God, you cannot disobey the church or whatnot. Like, I'm doing a bad job explaining it, but like, this show is centered around that theory, with the key concept being of this theory's evolution throughout time, and how, oh, it's at one point it's something blasphemous to even research or think about, searching about and trying to understand, to now being something, oh yes, it is well accepted theory. This isn't a spoiler like you would assume, because it is like, well, right from the get-go you realize, okay, this is how the show is gonna go. But what really hooks you to the show is the evolution of the theory, how it's going from something blasphemous to something that's accepted. How does it happen? Because this show really makes you think a lot. Like, after every episode you're taking a pause to just think on everything you just witnessed. There isn't a main character you're focused on, but throughout time there are a variety of characters that are attached to this theory, researching this theory, doing something around it, that have you hooked, attached to the characters in some way, but more so centered around the theory. You're interested around the theory to see how things will evolve, how social relations will change in the grand social scheme. Oh, this is a story of how the church is, like, there are so many interpretations of the story, but all of them are surrounding the control of power over controlling people's beliefs, trying to expel people who don't share the same beliefs. Oh, what power can restrict the research for the truth. The search of the truth is a key element of this show as well. There are so many deep topics of the power of the church trying to restrict people from researching, to try and control people, to try and find truth. Like, there's so many things that look like, they're doing this out of good because they are trying to prevent people. I forget exactly what I was thinking at the time, but there were so many arguments like in your head coming up. Oh, okay, they're doing this stuff for good. Oh no, they're doing this stuff for bad. There's so many, like, you get so confused on what's good or bad, what's right or wrong throughout this show, because there are so many elements at play, so many factors at play that it's chaotic. It makes you understand how chaotic reality is. It's not chaos in a sense where it's just jumbled in your head and you can't bear to watch. It's chaotic in the sense you come to the fruition and understanding of all the complex relations at play surrounding any theory, not just the heliocentric theory. Like, heliocentric is just used as an example in a much more abstract sort of thinking perspective. And in this show, they're using heliocentric theory as an example, and yeah, you're kind of hooked to see how different powers try to control what people believe and what people think, and that's the way this show goes. If you like Vinland Saga, this show really has the essence of that show while not being the same theme as that. The animation style is similar too. The animation in the show is absolutely gorgeous. Voice acting performances are amazing. There are so many things going on in this show that you have to stop and think way too often, more than I liked. But like, even in the middle of episodes, I was stopping just to pause and think because lines were dropping. You're like, oh my God, like, this show changes your way of thinking so much. You're like, what is reality? What is the truth? Oh, are these powers trying to manipulate me here? Oh, why are they preventing research in this topic? Oh, okay. Oh, so they'll allow in this topic. Oh, they're trying to manipulate you. Like, there's so many thoughts that go through your head while watching this. Though it is very slow paced when they try to develop the show and the story progresses, and that is what kind of off-puts you. Like, by the halfway point of the show, I was kind of pushing myself to watch the next episode, forcing myself to get through it. I mean, like, I was always hooked to the theory around this show and wanted to question everything, and like, the more I thought about it, the more I wanted to see the next episode. But at the same time, I was forcing myself onto the next episode to watch it because it's not the most gripping show to make you want to watch the next episode, but at the same time you're able to force yourself to watch it, and it is entertaining, but it is very slow paced. But it does kind of hook you to the story to see what are the different powers at play, and how do they try to manipulate you, control you? Why do they try to restrict the search for the truth? Why do they do not restrict the search for the truth? Why don't they allow questioning? Like, there's so much at play, and it makes you really question the values of societies and different peoples. And there are a lot of minor details in this show that really play a big part in foreshadowing the future and whatnot, especially in the opening. Like, I like, the opening isn't so great where you're gonna watch every episode, but like the few seconds you see at the opening, you see how each opening kind of depicts the the short time periods, because it's not like expanding centuries or anything. It's like, oh, 10 years, oh, now 25 years later, 35 years later, etc., etc., like in small fragments like that, and how just a small theory like this can change entirely during those small fragmented time periods. But yeah, it makes for a really, really interesting and unique show, and watching how like the key characters change throughout the opening was kind of an interesting thing to see as a mini detail. But like, it's mainly just the show and the details in the show that kind of hook you and see how things change and things evolve. There are a lot of characters you kind of get hooked to, but it's mainly this theory and idea and the concepts of the restriction for the search for the truth that kind of hooks you to this show. The involvement of different powers on central ideas, restriction of knowledge, why knowledge is the most powerful thing in this universe, and human curiosity in general. There are so many big themes that I don't think I'm doing justice just talking about like this, because honestly, this show, I only finished it like yesterday, and I'm still heavily thinking on it, because it just really makes you think. So any thoughts I'm sharing right now are just my thoughts on the show in general, not the thoughts on the deeper aspects that it makes you think about, because it really, really does make you think a lot. So yeah, watch the show. If you like thinking deep. If you don't like thinking deep, you probably won't enjoy this show, because that is all the show really does. It just makes you think, like shower thoughts type things. You just sit on your chair, it's 11 p.m. at night, you're like this, just sitting in circles thinking about nothing but the universe and how different social factors are impacting every small little detail in conflicts or whatever or whatnot. Oh, your uni is banning research on this thing. Oh, human relations on the vaccine during the COVID pandemic. Oh, it just makes you think about everything. Like, honest to God, this show was really eye-opening and just makes you think a lot. There's no right or wrong in this universe, but it just makes you think on why people behave the way they do, why powers play the way they do, why do they seek for power, why humans do this, why humans do that. It makes you think a lot. It's a really interesting show. If you want to try something new, a new storytelling style, something like that, this is a show definitely to check out. It might make you think of everything in a new light. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a really interesting show. Definitely do check it out. I give this one a solid 65%. Yeah, I'm rating it low because it didn't really have me hooked or anything, and I was forcing myself to watch it, but it's mainly the thinking. It feels more like a lecture than a movie, if I'm being honest, but at the same time, it does feel like a movie because you're watching fictitious characters do things throughout their lifetime, and it does entertain you from that standpoint. Actually, I'll give this a 70%, honestly. I did enjoy this show. It was not half bad, now that I think about it. It just feels more like a lecture from the standpoint that it's just making you abstractly think, but still, it does have that fictitious element to it that does kind of hook you, especially with the beautiful animation for the night sky and whatnot. But like, it is, especially the beginning of it, it does really hook you, but as it progresses, it kind of just loses its grip on you. But yeah, I give it a 70%, and that's Orb, Movements of Earth. Orb on Movements of Earth. I think that's what it's called. Orb on Movements of Earth, that's what it is. Peace.